Bright sun to you, defenders. Today we discuss a subject near and dear to the hearts of many. Treasure. Before you are but a small sample of the many things you may win in your career as a defender. Let's begin with the most basic. This is hecta. You may imagine each of these as similar to a $100 bill. Of course, Swordhaven is a place of dubious commerce, and the lack of smaller denominations means that in many cases you will have to pay exorbitantly. The good news is that you are likely to become very wealthy. There are currencies of other realms that may sometimes be useful. For instance, these are credits of Sobol. If you are in Sobol, they are worth something. If you are not in Sobol, or dealing with someone from Sobol, they are worth nothing. Much of the treasure of the world is in the form of gold and silver. These may be large or small. All gold and silver nuggets, such as these, which bear a striking resemblance to spray-painted rocks, are worth their weight in hecta if gold, or 1/5 their weight in hecta if silver. Some things you may not be sure if they are gold or not. For instance, is this coin but a worthless gewgaw, or a valuable item of gold? If you look closely, you can see the small G on the back. That tells you that it is in fact gold and worth the value of gold. This button, talisman, commemorative medal of the 14th Eon? I know not. But regardless, by the S, we can see that it is silver and has at least some value. So that is your basic valuables. There are many other things of importance. Next, I should mention the Bloodstone. The Bloodstone is what you win in combat with the Devilkin. It will enhance your spirit, make you stronger, cause you to learn new skills at an extraordinary rate. Bloodstone must only be given willingly. It may never be stolen or taken. If you find some lying around, it belongs to someone else, and you should try to find its owner. You may give your own bloodstone to others if you wish, if they're worthy. This is a moonstone, much like a bloodstone, but these are won for deeds of charity and kindness, or wit. Other things have their own value. Here we see a chit of dream vapor of Lemuria. It has no obvious worth, but a merchant might well be able to trade it for something of greater value. Next, items. Let's begin with the mundane items. Here are certificates of certain mundane items. We have the Stim Hypo, useful for bringing back those who have been knocked out to the fray. We have Incendiary Rockets, which will enable you to throw 2 fire packets. Quite useful. And the ever-popular Ground Glue, which will stick your opponent to the ground if you strike them with a daisha. Mundane items may only be used once, and, when consumed, should be placed in the cornucopia, or ripped up. Then we have the Gyrojet Clip and other wondrous tools, ranging from swords to armor to talismans, all sorts of things. The Gyrojet Clip, for example, will enable you to reload your projectile weapon with great speed, an essential in a fight. You will see that it will expire in the 6th month of Hexadus, that is, of the 26th year. At that point, you should place it in the cornucopia. Next, we have alchemical components. Alchemical components are only directly useful to those with the skill of alchemy or occasionally to power certain wondrous items. For instance, these are fire components. You can tell because they have an F on them. The bristle cone and the eye of Salgalog. Another common form are small colored stones like this, marked, for example, with A for air and L for life. More about those when we discuss alchemy. Sometimes the form can be quite unusual. For instance, this is the element of life that can be extracted from the pulp of the abraxas. Next we have radium. Radium looks like small colored strips. They come in the colors of the rainbow, but are only the colors only really matter to those who craft more esoteric items. All radium functions the same. They will bear a spiraling mark. The exact nature of the mark sometimes denotes its origin or quality, but that's usually nothing you need to worry about as a defender. Simply rip these up when you need to power your machines. Potions are worth a word. These are marked in some way on the outside in most cases, but we don't know for sure what they do. This one, for example, says Aramata virosa. Sounds healthy. Perhaps I'll give it to someone in need of healing. Hopefully, I have more information than that. But the only way to find out what it really does is open it and drink it. Or you can use the divination skill to try to learn what it is, or insight are both valuable. These, from some cavalier civilization of the ancient past, bear only symbols. Without knowing what the symbols mean, it's pure guesswork. This is where scholars, or again, divination or insight, come in handy. Next up, we have crystal. Power crystals come in flat sheets. They are used for many things, primarily related to machine lore. Sometimes you need to write information on them. For instance, we can see that this one is encoded to allow contact with a certain thriddle. This one is encoded with data. Others are encoded with alchemical engrams, and so on. A brief word about these. These are spell scrolls. In most cases, they are placed in the Hall of Stars and are of use to those who know the esoteric arts of magic. To the rest of us, they are useless. Who really would want to use the timely yet temporary resanguination of Ptah anyway? Last, but certainly not least, the spin blade. Delightful items. These can win you a fortune. There's a great deal of boredom in Swordhaven. It's not uncommon for a defender to wager the ransom of an empress on the throw of a spin blade.